my fellow sailors. Today we're going to be playing Dredge, which is kind of like a cute little fishing game mixed with a bit of Eldritch horror. So this should be fun. You guys probably don't know, but I have a background in marine biology, and I actually used to work on fishing boats. So this should be fun, see if my skills are still up to par or if I've gotten a little bit rusty. The game seems to start out with us on our way in our boat to a new job. I saw a job listing for an angler wanted there, but it looks like our boat is now washed up on some rocks, which is never good. That's not what you like to see. I do love the art style of this game. It's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, this is a cute little village we find ourselves in. The morning light fills your eyes and you try to sit upright. You're lying on the cold, wet dock where you collapsed the night before. A short man is shouting orders at a handful of workers disembarking from a boat nearby. The man notices you. Welcome to Greater Marrow. I must say, quite the dramatic first impression. I see you've already introduced yourself to the jagged rocks along the bay. Did you not see the lighthouse? It was shining right at you. Ah well, I'm glad to see our new fisherman upright and breathing. Your boat was hopelessly damaged, but I've had a few of our locals move your things to one of our old vessels. We'll catch up later to discuss more details. I'll let you get out there and catch some fish. See if you can fill your cargo while you get your bearings in the light. Finally, I don't suppose you need to say this, but get back by sundown before the fog rolls in. Keep a close eye on time. It can really creep up on you. Huh, that's a little suspicious. Why do we want to be back by sundown? I mean, you can fish in the dark. It's done quite often. I guess we'll find this out if we're not back by sundown. But yeah, we're gonna go see if we can catch some fish. So we'll head towards that area of kind of disturbed water there. You can see the fish sort of swimming around in a circle. And it looks like we found some fish and they're high in stock. And so we'll start doing some fishing. And I guess the mechanics of the game are quite simple. You can watch the sort of little bar go around. When it's in the kind of green area, you hit F and it helps you reel it in faster. And we're catching blue mackerel. Oh, and you see there's a yellow or kind of gold bar there. If you hit in the gold bar, that gets you a record-breaking fish. You can sort of see the different sizes of the other fish between 17 and 18 centimeters, and that one's up to 27 centimeters, which is pretty cool. So we're done with that spot. See, we've got all the fish from there, so we'll move on and see if we can find somewhere else to fish. I guess we'll take a shot of the kind of swirling fish in front of us here. But oh, it looks like we don't have the right equipment to be able to fish though, so we'll move on, see if we can get this sort of fishnado over here. Oh, and it looks like we do, and it looks like it's a different type of fish, kind of at a weird angle. Ooh, it's a cod, so that's a new and interesting type of fish. We'll catch as many of those as we can. And there we go, it looks like we've depleted those fish as well. I'm just going to go on ahead and fill up our hold with fish, and then we'll head back to town and see what happens when we get back there. Oh, we got another record-winning fish as well. And there we go, our hold is full, and we'll turn around and head back to town. It's just in time, because it looks like the sun is about to set, and I don't think we want to get caught out in the dark on the first night here. I don't think I want to know what happens yet. On the way back in, the tutorial gave me another good piece of advice. Timely advantages when you're moving, fishing, or taking other specific actions. Good to know. Oh, and it's also showed me this new wheel of interesting things. So I've got a foghorn, a spyglass, and some lights. So there you go. I can turn my lights off and on. I can make a foghorn noise, which is a lot of fun. And I can also use my spyglass to have a look at things far away, and it shows me what's in each fishing spot. So these are going to be useful tools for later on. And here we go, we've made it safely back to town. It's just coming dark. You step onto the dock at Greater Marrow. The mayor is waiting nearby. Ah, I see you've returned in one piece. Very good. Before you head off to town, we should discuss the matter of your boat. As I mentioned earlier, your old boat was too badly damaged to be repaired. However, I'm more than happy to sell you that replacement vessel, yours to own. I understand you may not have the necessary funds on hand, so we'll consider it a loan, but I want to make this easy for you. Until your debt is repaid, a tiny portion of your fish sales will go towards paying off, a small amount of interest will go towards improving the town. So to recap, you will need to sell fish at the local market, paying off your debt, and in turn keeping the population fed and satisfied. Understand? Selling fish helps the town and pays off my debt. Got it. Off you go then, sell those fish while they're still fresh. Okay, I guess we'll head over to the fishmonger to sell our fish. You enter a squalid shack on the fringe of the marketplace. The familiar smell of fish fills the air, flies buzz haphazardly around a downcast man behind the counter. You're the new fisherman, eh? Surprised they found a new one so fast. What happened to the other one? It takes a certain type of person to last out here. It's not life for everyone. True. Anyway, to business. I'll pay you for fish. Bigger and fresher means more money. Some species are just worth more too. And other towns on islands may pay you different. But while you've still got a debt outstanding here, I suggest you work paying it off first. Huh, that feels a little convenient. Feels a bit like I'm trapped selling fish here, even though I get better prices than from elsewhere. But oh well, looks like we can just go ahead and sell our fish and get a little bit of money. And you can see in the top corner the money being deducted from my debt. We will see. The mayor is standing outside the fisherman's store. Excellent work. I have no doubt you'll be able to provide for this town. Look here, I found this down by the docks. I'm sure someone like you could make something out of it. Why don't you take it? Okay, it looks like he's giving me a research part. We'll have to work out what to do with that later. Oh, one last thing. Our local shipwright mentioned she might be able to make some modifications to your ship. You should pay her a visit. Okay, it looks like we can head over to the shipwright. Oh, and there's our ship loan repayments. We've got £26 and 49 pence remaining. As you walk into the yard, you see the shipwright making repairs to a damaged hull. She looks up at you briefly before returning back to her work. You must be the new fisherman. I can make improvements to your vessel in the yard. Mind you, I'm not in the business of doing favors around here. Payment up front and everything takes some time to install. Also, if you take on any damage from the rocks or any damage at all, I can patch it up mostly. She shrugs and gestures towards the hull she's currently attempting to repair. A number of wooden boards, all well above the waterline, are splintered and scratched. I wonder why they specified above the waterline, because most damage I think would be below the waterline if you're hitting rocks. You know, it's going to be mostly unseen rocks. I guess unless they're kind of jutting out, but it's a little bit suspicious and worrying. But oh well, I'm glad she can fetch damage to our boat, because I played this a little bit before and I took a lot of damage. Take a look around. Just remember, the bigger the equipment, the longer it takes to install, so plan ahead. Okay, so it looks like she's caught a couple of rods for sale. So I believe how this works is that those different symbols are different kind of places where you can install different types of equipment. So the rods can go in the ones with the hooks, and the engines can go in the ones with the little propeller signs. And so we'll have a look by. Oh, and the lights can go up there in the one with the light bulb sign. It doesn't seem like there's any nets yet. I'm sure we'll unlock that later. And so there's two types of rods you can get. They look like both shallow water rods. The one I've got is coastal. So remember that fish I couldn't get earlier? I believe it was a shallow water rod I needed for that. So I might look at picking one of those up. So that one's $75 and has a fishing speed of 10%. And this one's $150 and has a fishing speed of plus 40%. So that's probably the one I'm going to want to get, the weighted line. But I don't think I quite have enough money for it yet, so I might have to save up a little bit. I think since we're done in here, we might take a little look at what to do with our research part. So this is our research tab. So we've got rods, engines, and then there's pots and nets, which are not yet unlocked. So I'm sure we'll get access to them later. So we've got an improved outboard engine, so it's plus 15 knots. Then we also have a hydraulic rod, which is oceanic, and a flexible fishing pole, which is coastal and shallow. So that one, I can combine like two types of rods into one, so it'll allow me to have much more hull space. And so if you have a look here, you can see there's one rod there and I can get another one off the other side. But if I get two rods together, that'll save me taking up a lot of hull space. So I'll be able to catch more fish at the time. And I also have a storage locker where I can put bits and pieces I'd like to store. So I guess research parts if I don't want to use them, things like that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just spend my research part. I'm going to try and go for the new engine because I feel being a little faster would be nicer because I feel so very slow. We can explore much bigger areas. And so I'm going to see if I can afford it from the shop. I cannot, so we'll have to come back for that another day. I'm going to go to sleep and I'll see you all in the morning. And good morning! We're gonna undock and head out and do some fishing, see if we can earn some money to buy that engine. On my way out of the harbour, I noticed this buoy was sparkling, so I'm gonna go check that out. A floating buoy. It serves to mark safe passage past dangerous rocks and obstacles and hazards. In its dim light also provides a brief respite in the gloom of the night. Okay, that's good to know. If I need respite of the night, head towards the buoy. And I've spotted another thing glowing in the water just past those rocks there, so I'm gonna go see if I can work out what it is. It appears to be a message in a bottle, so we'll go ahead and pick this up. It's been added to our cabin. 21st of August, 1927. We had a slight accident yesterday around the shallows at the back of Greater Marrow. A rock seemingly appeared out of nowhere and struck the front of the boat. It did not penetrate the hull, but it jostled it around and a few items fell overboard into the water. We did not see what they were, which of some concern, but we believe all important articles are accounted for. He has been checking over some notes from the boat renaming ceremony. He is paranoid that he performed the steps incorrectly. I've never known him to be so superstitious. Huh, interesting. Sounds like there's a story there, and we'll probably get the rest of it maybe as we pick up more notes. But yeah, I'm gonna head and do some fishing and see if I can fill my hull. Hopefully we'll earn enough money to afford either the fishing rod or possibly the engine. I'm going so very slowly. This footage is sped up, so I'd love to get a little bit faster to be able to explore a little bit more. But it looks like it's starting to get dark, and I just finished with this fishing spot, so we're probably going to head in for the night, so as not to get caught out in the dark. So we made it back to the dock, and we're gonna go sell our fish at the fishmongers. I have a special order come through from a customer. If you can fulfill it, I'll pay you above normal prices. Tell me about the order. They asked for 1 Gulf flounder and 1 grey eel. Just bring them in when you have them. You'll need to have a rod that can handle shallow water fish in order to catch those. The shipwright should be able to sort that for you. I don't know how you do it every day. These old bones wouldn't cut it on the high seas. I'm gonna sell my fish, and then we'll probably go have a look and see if we can get that shallow fishing rod from the shipwright. Yep, there we go. I think I'm gonna go for the weighted line one since it's got a little bit faster. And we'll get her to install that there on the right side of our boat. And there we go, all installed, and we'll take a look at the engine. Still can't afford it, it's 200 pounds, we've got 104, so we'll have to do some more fishing for that. Oh, a hunched woman approaches you from the steps to the lighthouse. She stops some distance away and looks at you with concern and visible apprehension. Why are you here? I came to fish. There's nothing here for someone like you anymore. Do yourself a favor and move on. That's really ominous. She turns and shuffles back along the path that leads to the light. Cool, that's anonymous. It looks like the mayor wants to speak to us, so we'll speak to him. Just the person I was hoping to see. Will you be sailing out east towards Little Marrow? Would you give this package to the dock worker there, please? Sure. I'll go ahead and stick the package in my hull. The mayor hands you a small damp package bound in string. It's dripping slightly. Gross. The dock worker will pay you upon delivery. Please be quick about it. I don't want it to spoil. Spoil? Don't forget to check your compass and map if you get lost. Gross, but good tips. Yes, there's the map, so that over there, that red dot must be, red X must be Little Marrow. And there we are in Greater Marrow. You can see our little boat on there. Very cute. I guess we'll go to sleep for the night, and tomorrow morning we'll go deliver that package for the mayor. And here we go, off to Little Marrow. And we've arrived at Little Marrow. Perfect. A delivery. Let's see here. He tears a small hole in the paper and peers inside. You can't say for sure, but it feels as though he's shielding it from your view. Yes, nice and fresh. This'll do nicely. I'm to pay you, I suppose. Well, I did a job. He hands you some money. I was given this old book a few weeks back, but it didn't make much sense to me. You'll surely get more use out of it. He pulls a crumpled book from his back pocket and hands it to you. A number of the pages are folded over. Keep it in your cabin. Perhaps you can read it while you're on the water. Stop by for a chat anytime. I know how lonely it can be. I mean, yeah, but it's quite a solitary job. It could be quite lonely. So have a look at this book he gave us. Sustainable fishing. I believe this is how it works, is when we're out on the water fishing, this sort of like slowly ticks down or ticks up to completion. Oh, and we'll also have a look at this. It seems to be sort of a list of all the kind of tasks or jobs or things you've got to complete. So catch a gulf flounder and a grey eel for the fishmonger. And this seems to be kind of an encyclopedia of all the fish we've got. So we've got the cod, blue mackerel, arrow squid, that sort of thing. That can all be very useful later on. But yeah, I'll probably head out and do a little bit more fishing while we still have daylight. Probably see if we can fulfill that order for the fishmonger. So we come over here and we see what this fish is. And it's a Gulf flounder, so that was one of the things we needed for the fishmonger order. And we'll head off and see if we can find the other part of that order. I believe it was a grey eel we needed. Oh, and look here, we can see it's a different type of fishing, so the bar kind of moves back and forward in sort of semicircles. And when it gets to the green bit, you click it and it pulls them up faster. And you can sort of see how the different shaped fish can be kind of more difficult to fit into the bolt hull. Yeah, it's getting pretty dark again, and it looks like we've got a full hull, so we're gonna head in back to the Greater Marrow and sell our catch. Hopefully this time we can afford our engine. Off to the fishmongers we go. Have you got any fish for the order? Yes, I do. I have both of them. So we'll go ahead and put our flounder and our grey eel in. The finger wraps up the fish and hands you some money. So we got £53.14 for that pen. Sorry. I've got another order here. This one's a little more curious. They want a couple of squid and a whole black grouper. Yep, that's certainly something you can do. Don't see many people fishing squid these days. They only feed at night. And well, you know what nights are around like here. Don't overcommit yourself, especially when the sun starts going down. Better to come back with a small catch than not to come back at all. I mean, that is always good advice. Definitely good advice. We'll just sell the rest of these fish for a little bit of money. The mayor is walking quickly towards you. He seems to be in a good mood with a spring in his step. Fantastic news! Thanks part to your effort, Greater Marrow is growing. Our town is sure to be swarming with visitors any day now. In fact, I've granted a consent for the shipwright to expand her facilities. The old dry dock is operational again. Ooh, a dry dock. I've also allocated some money to improve the fishmonger services. He might have something to talk to you about soon. Keep up all the good work. We're glad you've chosen to be here with us. I mean, chosen? Kind of forced. This is the dry dock. We can make significant improvements to your vessel here. We're talking extra space, more attachment points for equipment, and even superior hulls. We need a decent stock of hard materials for these projects. Lumber, metal, scraps, that sort of thing. There's plenty of decent materials around the coast from various shipwrecks and the like. I'm sure you'll find some way to get at them. Materials assigned towards upgrades here will be stored, so you don't worry if you only have half of what you need. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like we can get more rod spaces. Looks like it's 2 lumber, bolt of cloth, and some metal scraps we need. So yeah, we'll definitely have to take a look at doing some of those. So in game, I'm just going to go out and do a little bit more fishing. But I also wanted to expand a little bit more on what the fishmonger said about, you know, being careful and coming back with a smaller catch is better than not coming back at all. You know, I worked for the Coast Guard, or volunteered with the Coast Guard actually, the UK Coast Guard, for quite a few years. And yeah, like it is really important water safety. I'd highly recommend anyone going out in the water do the proper courses, do the things like sea survival, radio courses, and basically the basic operation of your boat, and like know how your safety equipment works, know how to use a radio, how to give like a pan, mayday. Always wear your life jacket, please, and regularly check your life jackets. Make sure they're in working, functioning order, because these things do deteriorate with time. Like, I'm not an expert in this, so I'm not going to give lots of advice, but I will just say, please make sure you are safe. We want everyone to come home, and boating is incredibly fun and incredibly rewarding. So sorry for going off a bit of a tangent and a rant, but that is very important to me, and I think I'm going to end the video there, and maybe I'll leave you with this cute little anecdote that I just spent the last sort of half an hour editing this video while having a cat kind of curled up on my chest, purring away. It was a lot of fun playing, and I'll hopefully see you all in my next video.